Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on digital electronics. It is a subject in third semester, Diploma ETCE. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3. Today we are in lecture number 23. So I am Paulu Sridhar, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Now let us have the course objective that will be fulfilled in this lecture. So our subject digital electronics, which is in diploma third semester, it consists of 60 lectures. The credit is 4 and we are in unit number 3, that is combination logic circuits. The unit 3 consists of 4 subunits. First unit is arithmetic circuits. It consists of half adders, full adder, half subtractor, full subtractor, parallel and serial full adders. Next subunit is design of circuits using the universal gates. The third subunit is code converters, encoders, decoders, multiplexers and demultiplexers. And the last subunit, that is unit 3.4, is parity generator and checker and the comparator. Now we will see the course objective. So the students will be able to, first one is do the conversion of the number systems. Second is understand the concept of the logic gates and its operation. Third is design simple logic circuits using the logic gates. Fourth is design of combinational circuits. Fifth is design of sequential circuit. Sixth is gain the comprehensive idea on various memory devices. Seventh is design analog and digital conversion, or understand analog to digital conversion and also digital to analog conversion techniques. Eighth one is understand different logic families and their comparisons. So the course objectives that will be fulfilled in this lecture, that is in lecture number 23, is design of the combinational circuit, because here we will be designing the combinational circuits. And this course objective, that is course objective number 4, is given in red color and it is also in bold. That's why this course objective, that is design of the combinational circuit, will be fulfilled after the completion of this lecture, that is lecture number 23. So after this, let us have a quick overview of the lecture plan of this lecture number 23. Our subject digital electronics we are studying, it is a subject in diploma ETCE and the course code is ETCE/DE/S3 and we are in module 3, that is combination logic circuits, and the subunit that we will be studying is code converters, encoder and decoder, multiplexer and demultiplexer, and parity generator, checker and the comparator. Here in this lecture we will be studying about encoders, 3 to 8 encoder, then priority encoder, demultiplexer, 1 to 4 demultiplexer and 1-bit comparator. So let us start our lecture number 23, and we will start it with the encoders. Now before moving to the lecture or moving to the encoder, starting the encoder topic, let us have a quick recap of the previous lectures. So in the previous lecture we have started with our syllabus and also the course objectives. Now the course objectives are very important because this course objectives will be fulfilled after the completion of the course. And here also in each of the lectures we were explaining which course objective is fulfilled in which lecture. Now after that we have studied about the numbers. We have done the conversion from one number system to the other. Next we have learned about the basic gates. In the basic gates we have learned mainly about the AND, OR and NOT gates. Next we have learned about the universal gates, that is NAND and NOR. Next is the exclusive gates, that is XOR and XNOR gates. We have also read about all the applications of all the gates and also seen how to design the functions using the logic gates. Next, we have done the Boolean algebra, that is how to minimize the expressions using the Boolean algebra using all the postulates and also the theorems and also various laws. We have learnt about the laws, we have done the proofs, and also we have learnt about all the formulas of the Boolean algebra. Next, in the minimization techniques, we have learnt about the K-maps. In the K-maps, we have done the minimization for 2-variable K-map, 3-variable K-map, 4-variable K-map, and don't care conditions. Next, after that, we have moved on to the combinational circuits, that is module 3. In the combinational circuits, we have seen the differences between the combinational circuit and the sequential circuits. Next, we have learned about the adder circuits and the subtractor circuits. In the adder circuits, we have studied about the half adders and the full adders. In the subtractor circuit, we have studied about half subtractor and the full subtractor. We have learned how to design the circuits, the logic diagrams, then which gates are to be used. All these things we have learned in the first part of the combinational circuit module. Next, we have studied about the multiplexers, decoders. Now, in this lecture, we will be starting about the encoders. So, let us start encoders. An encoder is a digital circuit that performs the inverse operation of a decoder. Hence, the opposite of the decoding process is known as the encoding process. Next, an encoder is a combination logic circuit that converts active input signal to coded output signal. So, basically you can see this is a black box, this is an encoder. There will be what? 2 to the power n number of inputs. It will be converted to m outputs. That is, it has 2 to the power n input lines, only one of which will be active at any time, and m output lines. It encodes one of the active inputs to the coded binary output with m bits. In an encoder, the number of outputs is less than the number of inputs. This is a very important thing, that the number of outputs will be less than that the number of inputs. Now this is the block diagram, and here you can see that it is written 2 to the power n input lines are converted to m output lines. It's converted to m output lines. It is converted to m output lines. So 2 to the power n input lines are converted to m output lines. So this was the block diagram of an encoder. Next, we will be designing a octal to binary encoder, that is 8 to 3 encoder. So this is the truth table. Now listen, it is well known that a binary to octal decoder, that is 3 to 8 decoder, accepts 3 input codes and activates one of the 8 output lines corresponding to that code. Now, an octal to binary encoder performs the opposite function. It accepts 8 inputs and produces 3-bit output code corresponding to the activated input. This is the truth table for the octal to binary encoder. Now you can see that this truth table consists of D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. All these are the input lines and these are the outputs, Y2, Y1 and Y0. Now here Y0, let me draw it for you. This Y0 is the LSB. That is, what is the full form of LSB? Least significant bit. And Y2 is the MSB. So this Y2 is the MSB, that is the most significant bit. Okay. Now so let us see how this is going. So see here, when it is 1, D0 is 1, when this D0 is 1, again D1 is 1, D2 is 1, D3 is 1, D4 is 1, D5 is 1, D6 is 1 and D7 is 1. Now we have to look for the values. See for Y0, what are ones here? This D1 is 1. Just let us encircle it or draw the boxes like this. This is 1. Again see, this is 1 when D3 is 1. Similarly, this one is 1 when D5 is 1 and Y0 is 1 here when D7 is 1. So what we can say, that Y0, that is the LSB, must be 1 whenever the inputs D1, D3, D5 or D7 is high or 1. So you can write the equation like this: Y0 is equal to Y1 plus Y0 is equal to D1 plus D3 plus D5 plus D7. I hope this is clear to all of you. We've written D1 plus D3 plus D5 plus D7 because Y0 is equal to 1 whenever this inputs D1, D3, D5 and D7 are equal to 1 or high. So this equation can be written like this, that is Y0 is equal to D1 plus D3 plus D5 plus D7. Now let us see the next equation, that is for Y1. Now this is Y1. Again let us draw where it is 1, 1. This is 1, means this D2 is 1. Similarly again here D3 is 1. This is 1 here, so it corresponds to D3. Similarly this one is D6 and next is D7. So you can say that Y1 must be 1 whenever the inputs D2 or D3 or D6 or D7 is equal to high or 1. So what you can write? You can write the equation like this, that is Y1 is equal to D2 plus of D3 plus of D6 plus of D7. It's coming from this blocks. Already I have drawn it here. Next, let us go to the D3 term. Sorry, Y3 term. So Y3 is equal to this D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus D7. How this is equal to this 4 terms? Let us see here. See, Y2 is equal to 1 when this D4 is equal to 1, then D5 is equal to 1, D6 is equal to 1 or D7 is equal to 1. So what you can say, that Y2 is equal to high or must be 1 whenever the inputs D4 or D5 or D6 or D7 is high. So what you can say, Y2 is equal to D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus of D7. Now from these 3 equations, or using all these equations or expressions, the octal to binary encoder can be implemented. How it can be implemented? There is a OR gate in between, so it can be implemented using 4 input OR gates. How? Because there are 4 inputs. Each of this is a 4 variable, that is D1, D3, like this, D5, D7. So we are using 4 input OR gates. This one, first one, second one and third one. Next, so we are designing the logic gate. Now we are drawing the input lines D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. Now we will plot the expression y0. Now it is d1 plus of d3 plus of d5 plus of d7. So it is, see, d1, this is d3, d5 and d7. Now this is y0. y0 is the LSB. Next is d2 plus of d3. Next is d6 and d7. Note one thing, that each of the connection is made with a bubble. This bubble shows a connection. This is one connection, second connection, third connection and fourth connection. And the output is y1. Next is d4, d5, d6 and d7. It is connected to a OR gate and the output is y2. So y0 is the LSB and y2 is the MSB. So the logic circuit of the 3 to 8 encoder or octal to binary encoder is complete. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now let us move to the next slide. Now we are going to discuss priority encoder. This is a very important topic in case of the encoder. So let us see why we need the priority encoder. First of all, let us see it. Now what happens in an encoder circuit? Suppose 2 or more inputs are 1 without having only one input as 1. So what we will do? There will be some erroneous output in the encoder circuit. In this type of cases, a priority encoder is being used. Now a priority encoder is an encoder that contains the priority function. This one is the priority function, this P. The operation of the priority encoder is that when 2 or more inputs are equal to 1 at the same time, then the input having the highest priority will take the precedence. This is the main operation of the priority encoder. That is, suppose when 2 or more inputs are equal to 1 at the same time, then in the normal encoder circuit, it would have been given the erroneous output. But here, in case of priority encoder, as there is a priority function, so what will happen? The input having the highest priority will take the precedence. Now, this is the truth table for a 4-input priority encoder. Now, there are 4 inputs, D0, D1, D2 and D3, and there are 2 outputs, Y2 and Y1, and P is the priority function. Now let us look how this truth table works. Now you can see the truth table contains X terms. So X are the don't care conditions that denote that the binary values can be either 0 or 1. These are the don't care conditions. So already you know that in a don't care condition means the value can be 0 also, it can be 1 also. Now let us look from the first point. Now see, input D3 has the highest priority. So whatever be the value of the other inputs, so when D3 will be equal to 1, output will be Y2 and Y1 will be equal to 1, 1. So we are considering this case. Here suppose as this is a don't care condition, so we suppose that all of the 4 values are equal to 1. But what is the function of the priority encoder? That the output will take the value of the input having the highest priority. So this is D3, this will have the highest priority, this input line. So whatever were the values of the other inputs, the output will be 1, 1. That is Y2 and Y1 will be equal to 1, 1. See, you have to look that whenever there is any 1 in the input lines, then the priority function will be equal to 1. After that, it will start operating. First of all, look here that there are 3 don't care conditions and there is a 1 here. So as there is a 1 here, so the priority function is equal to 1. Now this function will look for the input having the highest priority. This D3 is having the highest priority. So D3 will be going as the output. That is Y2 and Y1 is equal to 1, 1. Next case, this case is again there is a 1. So this priority function is again equal to 1. So it will again look for the highest priority among these 3 input lines. Which one is having the highest priority? Among D0, D1 and D2, D2 is having the highest priority. So output will be equal to 1, 0. Next is this case. In the third case, 1 is there. So again, it will be 1 here. After that, this priority function will look for the highest priority among D0 and D1. Which one is having the highest priority among D0 and D1? It is D1 is having the highest priority. So the output will be equal to 0, 1. Next is this case. Only out of this 4 input lines, there is a 1 here. So again, this is 1. This priority function or priority bit will be equal to 1. And it will look for the highest priority. But here only, as there is only 1, 1. That is D0 is equal to 1. So the answer will be equal to, or the output will be equal to 0, 0. I hope this 4 cases are clear. The last is this case where all of the inputs are equal to 0. So there is no case of 1. So this priority function will be equal to 0. And these are cross. That is, it can be 0 also. This does not fall in this category of 1 or more number of ones. So I hope that this truth table of 4 input priority encoder is clear to all of you. This is a very important topic, that is a priority encoder. Short notes may come, also questions for 5 marks may be coming, and this is very important for your semester exam. You should remember this one. Let us move to the next slide. That is the applications of the encoder. So the applications of the encoder are speed synchronization of multiple motors in industries. Second is warfare flying motor with a night vision flying camera. Robotic vehicle with the metal detector. RF based home automation system. Automatic health monitoring systems. So these were in short the applications of the encoder. So moving to the next slide. The next slide is we will be starting the demultiplexers. So already we have learned about the decoders. Decoder is same as the demultiplexer, but what is the difference? It is a same as demultiplexer, but without any data input. So decoder does not have any data input, but in demultiplexer we are having data input. So demultiplexing is the process of taking information from one input and transmitting the same over one of the several outputs. So the word demultiplex means one to many. So a demultiplexer is a logic circuit that receives information on a single input line. This is the input line, and transmits the same information over one of the several output lines. The output lines are suppose to the power n. N is equal to the power m, where m is the select lines. And demultiplexer is always 1:something. That is, there will be always one input signal and there will be multiple output signals, where the input will be selected at the output depending on the select lines. Now this is the block diagram of the demultiplexer, which is just the opposite of the multiplexer in operation also. The circuit has one input line or input signal, m select lines or the m select signals, and n output signals. The select inputs determine to which outputs the input will be selected or connected. As the serial data is changed to parallel data, that is the input caused to appear on one of the n output lines, the demultiplexer is also known as a distributor or serial to parallel converter. This is a very important thing, that a demultiplexer is called a distributor or serial to parallel converter. Now let us see the truth tables, and also we will be designing a 1 to 4 demultiplexer. So next topic is 1 to 4 demultiplexer. So in a 1 to 4 demultiplexer, it has a single data input, that is the D. This is the D single data input, and there are two select lines. These are the two select inputs, S1 and S0, and the outputs are Y3, and the outputs are, these are the two select lines, S1 and S0, and these are the outputs, that is Y3, Y2, Y1 and Y0. So see D, this is D is going 0, 0, so it is 0, 0, 0 D, 0, 1, 0, 0 D 0, 1, 0, 0 D 0, 0, and 1, 1 is D 0, 0, 0. Now we will explain the truth table, how it is coming. So from the truth table, it is clear that the data input is connected to output Y0, this is Y0, when S1 and S0 is equal to 0, 0. So when S1 and S0 is equal to 0, 0, this data input is connected to Y0. Just see, when this is 0, 0, this is 0, 0, this D is connected to where? Y0. This is in short. Now let us see this one. Similarly, what we can see, the data input is connected to Y1 when select lines are 0 and 1. That is S1 is equal to 0 and S0 is equal to 1. Similarly, this data input is connected to Y2 when S1 is equal to 1 and S0 is equal to 0. And last is, this data input is connected to Y3 when S1 is equal to 1 and S0 is equal to 1. So you can see that this data inputs are connected to each of these output lines depending on the select lines. So from the truth table, we can write the expression like this: Y0 is equal to S1 bar S0 bar into D. Why S1 bar and S0 bar? Because S1 is also 0 and S2 is also 0 in this case. Next is Y1 is equal to S1 bar S0 bar. Y1 is equal to S1 bar S0 into D. Why? Because S1 is 0 and S0 is 1. Next case is Y2. Y2 is equal to S1 S0 bar and D. Here the value of S1 is 1, that's why it is S1, and the value of S0 is 0, that's why it is S0 bar. Similarly, Y3 is S1 S0 into D. Here the values of both S1 and S0 are 1, 1. So by using the above expression, these expressions can be implemented to draw the logic diagram of a 1 to 4 demultiplexer. So this 1 to 4 demultiplexer can be implemented using 4 3-input AND gates. These are the 3-input AND gates and 2 inverters or NOT gate, and this is the figure. Here the input data is connected to all the AND gates. Why? Because the expressions are like this: S1 bar dot S0 bar dot D. That is, this dot means there will be an AND gate. The two select lines, that is S1 and S0, enable only one gate at a time, and the data that appears on the input lines passes through the select gate to the associated output lines. So when S1 will be 0, 0, so here what will happen? We will get Y0. That is, D will be connected to Y0. Next is when S1 and S2 will be 0, 1, then D will be connected to Y1. Similarly, when S1 is 1 and S0 is 0, so Y2 will be connected to D. And similarly, when S1 is equal to 1 and S2 or S0 is equal to 1, so what will be connected? D will be connected to Y3. So these are the 4 cases, and we have understood how to design a 1 to 4 demultiplexer. Next, moving to the next slide, we have come to the end of the demultiplexers, that is the applications of the demultiplexers. So demultiplexer is used to connect single source to multiple destinations. The main application area of the demultiplexer is communication system, where multiplexers are used. Most of the communication systems are bidirectional. That is, they function in both ways, both in the transmitting and also in the receiving signals. Hence, for most of the applications, the multiplexer and the demultiplexer work in sync. That is, both in transmitting and the receiving section, there is a multiplexer and the demultiplexer, and they are both working in a synchronization to each other. Now, demultiplexers are also used for reconstruction of parallel data and ALU circuits. Next is the communication systems. Communication systems use multiplexer to carry multiple data like audio, video, and other forms of data using a single line for transmission. This process makes the transmission easier. The demultiplexer receives the output signal of the multiplexer and converts them back to the original form of the data at the receiving end. The multiplexer and the demultiplexer work together to carry out the process of the transmission and the reception of the data in the communication system. Next is the ALU, arithmetic logic unit. In the ALU circuit, the output of the ALU is stored in the multiple registers or the storage units with the help of a demultiplexer. The output of an ALU is fed as the data input to the demultiplexer. Each output of the demultiplexer is connected to the multiple register which can be stored in the registers. Next application of the demultiplexer is serial to parallel converter, and this is a very important application also. A serial to parallel converter is used for constructing parallel data in incoming serial data stream. In this technique, serial data from the incoming serial data stream is given as data input to the demultiplexer at regular intervals. The counter is attached to the control input of the demultiplexer. This counter directs the data signal to the output of the demultiplexer, where these data signals are stored. When all the data signals have been stored, the output of the demultiplexer can be retrieved and read out in parallel. So these were in short the applications of the demultiplexer. Hope all of you have understood how to design the demultiplexers. So now let us move to the next topic of our today's lecture, that is comparators. So we can design 1-bit comparator, 2-bit comparator, 3-bit comparator like this, but in your syllabus you are having 1-bit comparator. So let us see how to design the 1-bit comparator. Now, a magnitude comparator is a combination circuit that compares the magnitude of two numbers. This is the case of 1-bit comparator, where there will be two numbers A and B. It generates the following outputs. So there will be 4 cases, and there will, in case of the truth table, as it is of 2-bit comparator, as we are comparing 2 bits, that is 1 bit. A is of 1 bit, B is of 1 bit, and there are 4 cases. And it will be generating 3 outputs. That is 3 outputs. This is first output is A is equal to B. Second is A is less than B. Third is A greater than B. These are the 3 cases. So suppose, let us see the truth table of the 1-bit comparator, where there are 2 numbers A and B, and the magnitudes will be compared and we will be getting the corresponding results. So first is 0, 0. Next is 0, 1. Second is 1, 0. And fourth is 1, 1. So first case is 0, 0. In this case, A is equal to B, because A is also 0, B is also 0. So here, as these 2 are equal, so only here we will be having 1, because it is A equal to B. This is only equal to 1. And this 2 will be 0, 0, because we will not get any result if A is greater than B or A is less than B, because here A is equal to B. Now this case, 0 and 1. The value of A is 0 and the value of B is 1. So here A is not greater than B because 0 is not greater than 1. So it will be 0 here. Next case is A less than B. Here 0 is less than 1. So we will be having 1 here. Next is A is equal to B. Again this B is greater than A. So here A is not equal to B. So here it will be 0. Next is this case. 1, the value of A is 1 and the value of B is 0. So here what we can see that 1 is greater than 0. So here this will be equal to 1 because A is greater than B. That is 1 is greater than 0 in this case. In third case. In the case of A is less than B, it will be equal to 0. And A is equal to B, it will be equal to 0. And the last case, that is 1 and 1. In this 1, 1, that is A is 1 and B is 1. So A equal to B. So in A less than B and A greater than B, all this will be equal to 0, 0. But here A equal to B will be equal to 1. So this is, just draw this one. So here it is 1 here, this is 1 and this is 1 and 1. So what you can write from this can be written as A, this is A and this is B bar. Why? Because this is 1 when A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0. So A is greater than, the expression of A greater than B will be equal to A dot B bar. What will be this one? It will be A bar and B. Why? Because this is 1 when A is equal to 0, that is A bar, and B is equal to 1, that is B. So the expression of this A less than B will be, sorry, that is B greater than A will be equal to A bar B. And this one, this 2. So here there will be 2 cases, that is, first one is A bar B bar plus of A B. Why? Because this one corresponds to A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0. So it is A bar B bar, and this one is when A is equal to 1 and B equal to 1. This 1 1 case. This 1 1 means AB. So here we can see the 3 expressions of the this one. This one is A equal to B. This one is this one. This one is the expression of A equal to B. And this one expression is A less than B. And this expression is for A greater than B. So we have got the 3 expressions. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Now let us move to the next slide. So again, here we will be finding the expressions. Already we have done this in the previous slide, but here it is written here like this. So just see, this is the truth table. This is the truth table. Here it is, expression is given. A greater than B is A, B bar, and this A less than B is A bar B, and this one is A is equal to B is A bar B bar plus of AB. Now this one is equal to what? A x naught of B. This expression is nothing but the expression of A x naught of B. So you can write it like this, A x naught of B. Now so next is drawing the logic diagram of a 1-bit comparator. So this one is A. From here we will be drawing the or implementing the logic diagram of a 1-bit comparator using 1 2-input AND gate, 1 XNOR gate, and again 1 2-input AND gate and 2 inverters will be used. So let us draw it and see how we were drawing it. From here we are connecting it to an inverter, and the result is A bar. This is A bar, so it will be B. So this is what? The expression for A less than B. Next A is coming and B is coming, and we convert, and we are connecting it to an XNOR gate, and the output is A equal to B. This is A A bar B bar plus of AB. So this is A XNOR of B. Next is A is connected here and B is coming here. It's connected to inverter. So here we will be getting B bar we are getting, and from here we are getting A. So this is A dot B bar, and this is the expression for A greater than B. So this was in short the 1-bit comparator. I hope this is clear to all of you. So I hope today's lecture, starting from encoder, all things were clear to all of you. So this lecture is very important, and it has got very important topics like encoders, priority encoders, demultiplexer, comparators. So please study this one. And I am thankful to all of you for listening to me. Hope to meet you soon. Thank you.